morning. Good morning. One of the best days of the year. We've got 3 NFL games. We've got college football all day. Hopefully you guys are doing well. We talked a lot about the NFL games yesterday. I tweeted out some bets for today already, right before I started this. But we have more to talk about, and we're going to build a first touchdown parlay. One player in each of the 3 NFL games today. And then we'll talk a little of these college football games as well. There is quite a few of them. And if you guys have any questions in the chat, let me know. I guess we'll start with NFL. Obviously, I posted my breakdown yesterday, article of all the games. Chargers obviously are motivated here. If they win, they're in the playoffs. It is a tough spot, though, cross country with the early 1 o'clock start. So if they start a little bit slow, I wouldn't be surprised. And their defense has it's been a little inconsistent, I would say. So, I kind of like the over, honestly. I didn't bet it, but I definitely would lean towards the over for the full game. I think the Patriots can score some points here. I think it'll be a close game too. I do think the Chargers win and clinch, but I would not be shocked if it goes over the total. And for the Chargers offense, it's a great matchup for them. The Patriots, I'm hoping that because J.K. Dobbins is back, they don't just keep running into a brick wall over and over. Like, the way to attack the Patriots all season has been with the pass. They're going to man you up, play man coverage. Justin Herbert, throughout his career, at times has had really, really good numbers against man coverage. We know Ladd McConkey has really good numbers against man coverage. So I think that's the way that they should go about attacking them. I think it'll be, a close game, and I think the Chargers win. For Denver, Cincy, yesterday, I've gone back and forth on this game. Yesterday, I was more on the Cincy side. Today, man, I don't know. I just can't trust Cincinnati's defense at the end of the day. It's been so bad for the majority of the season. They've struggled at times to get pressure, which I pointed out in my article. I think that's going to be the biggest key to this game. If they can get consistent pressure on Bo Nix, they can win this game. And if they can't, they're probably not going to win. And that's kind of been the story all year. Their offense has been amazing, and their defense has let them down. They have a terrible record in close games, which, in my opinion, is a reflection of, a bad coach. So that's kind of where I'm at with that game. I was leaning Cincy yesterday, but honestly, I'm not going to bet a side of the game. If you could get a 3.5 with Denver, I think I'd lean that way, to be honest. Which is unfortunate because I want the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs. Anthony, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Gurus, if the Chargers win, Bengals are eliminated. They're not. So if the Chargers win, they're in no matter what. For the Bengals to get in, they need to win out, and they need the Broncos to lose out. So the Chargers win, and they're in regardless. The only way the Bengals can get in is if they beat the Broncos today, and then they win next week against the Steelers, and the Broncos lose next week against the Chiefs, which is probably unlikely, considering that the Chiefs probably, won't be playing a lot of their key players in that game. But then again, since they got the bye week, maybe they will play their starters because they won't want to have 2 weeks off. So, it's still possible, but the Bengals have to win regardless of what happens in that Chargers game. T. Higgins is playing, to my knowledge. Yes. All right, and then in the late game, Cardinals-Rams. Cardinals, yesterday I said I like the Rams minus 6.5. I still think I do. Cardinals, I mean, they kind of were looking like they were going to get in the mix of this divisional race, and then they've went 1-4 in their last 5 games, so that eliminated them. Rams have kind of been catching fire. When they've had Puka and Cup both healthy this year, they've been very good. And the Cardinals beat them earlier in the season too, like week 2, so I'm sure the Rams, will be motivated to win here. Sean McVay, I put it in my article, I think he's 12-3 against the Cardinals since he took over as the Rams coach, like just completely dominated them. So I like the Rams in this one. And I'd be fine laying the 6.5. So overall, I don't like any of these spreads though. Like I think the Chargers game is going to be close, so I really don't want to lay 5.5. I would lean Broncos plus 3.5 if you could get that. It's 3 on FanDuel. But I'm sure there's some 3.5s out there. And then Rams, I'd lean towards them, I think. For first touchdowns, all right, I still want to do Hunter Henry, I think, for the first game. So we're going to put Hunter Henry in from the Chargers-Patriots game. Broncos-Bengals is where I'm stuck. Who do we want to take from this game for first touchdown? That is the question. I mean, we could go, since we have a 15-1 in the first game, we could go chalky, we could go Jamar Chase. Or, do we want to take, if we take a Bronco, I mean, we have Sutton there. It's tough, like, it's tough to pick one of the Broncos running backs because they mix it around so much. And then they just brought in, they let Audric Estime score last week in the red zone. Jaleel McLaughlin's back this week. I don't know. Chase Brown, yeah, that's a good pick, Jim. I don't hate that at all. Yeah, it's tough. Okay, I definitely, since we have a 15-1, I definitely want to do like one of the lower odds in this game. So we'll put Chase Brown in. I don't hate that at all. And then Cardinals, Rams. I mean, it's basically like you're picking one of the 3 Rams, which being Kyron, Puka, Cup, or if you want to do a Cardinal, I'm kind of like leaning Cooper Cup, to be quite honest with you. Should the Steelers and Houston be worried? Yeah, I think so. Houston, I mean, Guru, like you're in the streams a lot. Like Houston should be concerned. I've been talking about them for weeks. Like a couple weeks ago, I told you if Baltimore played Houston in round 1 of the playoffs, it would have been my biggest bet of the season on Baltimore. Unfortunately, they just played each other and, Baltimore destroyed them. So we lost any sort of an edge in that. But yeah, I mean, Houston just hasn't looked good to me all year for whatever reason. They, whoever gets them in round 1, I think is looking pretty good. The Steelers are kind of like, I don't know, they're such a weird team. Like they rely on just Mike Tomlin, voodoo magic. I think it's so funny that like Mike Tomlin voodoo wins them games, and then all I see is Steelers fans like complaining about Mike Tomlin and how it's like the same thing year after year, which I can understand because they've really never been in the mix for a Super Bowl since they had, the 3 Bs, which was, years and years ago at this point. So I can understand that, but yeah, they're kind of like what they are. I don't think the Steelers really, you can even see it in the power rankings here I have on the screen. Like we've talked about this the last few weeks. This is just off the raw data we put in this data space. The Steelers were top 3 or 4 for the majority of the time I've been doing this list. And I had just updated it after last week's games, and they're already dropping down. Like they're all the way down here now. And then the Chiefs, who I think the first week I did this list was like it was around Thanksgiving was the first time we did this list. The Chiefs were not even in the top like 12, and they're all the way up just in time for the playoffs, right? Back up in the top 5. All right, who do we want to take though for the last game? Cooper Cup. So that would give us Hunter Henry, Chase Brown, Cooper Cup, first touchdown parlay, 3 legs, 81-1. So I'm gonna ride with that for some just for fun. This is not a I won't even if this bet even won, I wouldn't even track this on my record. Like this is just for fun. Hopefully Hunter Henry scores, and then you at least have a chance at the other games. But just something fun for anytime touchdowns. Obviously, I gave out my picks in that video yesterday: Lad McConkey, Jamar Chase, and Blake Corum for a long shot. Those were my picks. I do like Cooper Cup though, honestly. Just in general. And I'm kind of interested, honestly, in Jaleel McLaughlin for if you're picking a Broncos player to score a touchdown, just because they've been like so bad running the football. The Denver Broncos recently, they've been extremely inefficient. And I think we could see him get a little bit involved just to see if they can catch, you kind of get hot running the football, because Javonte just has not been efficient. Same thing with Audric Estime. So I think Jaleel McLaughlin could get involved today. He's plus 350 anytime on FanDuel. We know that Cincinnati has a pretty bad run defense. He can mix in the receiving game as well. So he's kind of other than Blake Corum, that would be my long shot touchdown pick for today. If you guys have any questions on the games today, let me know. I'm going to take a peek at tomorrow's games. I will be live tomorrow morning as well, but just looking ahead, some of these games suck, to be honest with you. I mean, Dallas and Philly, we have Cooper Rush and Kenny Pickett, like whatever. Total's only 38.5. Colts Giants, total's only 40.5. Colts are -7. Raiders Saints, disgusting, 37.5 total. I mean, Jets Bills is okay, I guess, but the Bills are -9.5. One of the higher totals though, 46.5. Titans Jags, 39.5 total. Browns Dolphins, 35.5 total. The only games on the main slate of tomorrow: Vikings Packers, 48.5. Clearly the best game of the day. And then Panthers Bucks, 47.5. Jets Bills, 46.5. Everything else is like 40 or below. Like pretty disgusting day of football tomorrow, to be honest with you. Should create some interesting edges for DFS though, because obviously there's going to be a ton of attention on those couple games that have a high total. So if you can find the other game that outperforms expectations, that could be a nice little edge. I think Jacksonville is a little interesting to me. Obviously, the Colts. The Colts could just steamroll the Giants, to be honest with you, like running the football. I mean, I know we just got a huge Jonathan Taylor game yesterday, or last week, but JK moved the line 1.5 by himself. Yeah, I think that there was like other factors playing into that as well, but I'll be curious to see like how involved he is. Like, I was kind of assuming he'll be kind of limited, just given that it's his first game back. But I don't know. Maybe he'll be a full go. We probably won't know until the game starts, I guess. As far as college goes, UConn North Carolina is already going on. I didn't bet on that game, so we can skip that. I like Nebraska over Boston College. I took them first half money line in one of the bets that I gave out, but I like Nebraska full game, I think. Louisiana TCU, my lean would be on TCU, but I'm not going to lay 9.5 in a bowl game. So that's probably a pass. I love Miami here. I think Cam Ward is going to play to the best of his abilities for as long as he's in the game. And I took Miami like 2 weeks ago when we first did our bowl preview. It was minus 3.5, minus 105. It's only moved 5 cents. I thought it would have moved to like 4.5, but it didn't. But I do like Miami today. I have a Colorado State +3 ticket against Miami of Ohio. It's 2.5 now. I still would lean towards Colorado State. If you want to just take them on the money line, you can do that. We did a similar thing yesterday with Vandy. We took Vandy money line, didn't mess with the spread. They won outright. I like Colorado State in that one. And then this is the big game tonight. I told you guys when we did our bowl preview, watch this BYU Colorado game for a live betting opportunity. If like the second you see like Shador and Travis Hunter are going to come out of the game, I would be putting a heavy bet on BYU. So this is going to be a game I'm not going to bet pregame. If anything, if you want to bet Colorado like first quarter or first half, I think you could do that. But if you're going to bet on this game, be watching it. And then as soon as you see Travis Hunter come out, because I don't think they're going to play the full game. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do play the full game, but I would be surprised if they did. So the second you see them coming out, I would hit BYU live. And that's going to be probably a pretty big bet for me. And then Army, I definitely lean Army over Lotzek, but I mean, I'm not laying 14.5, especially with the Service Academy. Like that's getting a little dicey. But Miami overall, probably my favorite spot today for a college bets. I have not looked at NBA yet. I'll be doing that after the stream. So can't really comment much on that. College basketball, I'll be diving back in. I had a couple people reach out to me about college basketball betting. Like I will be doing it. It's just my last year I did college basketball full time, like with NFL and NBA. And I had my worst like collective season. And I think just how I've done college basketball in the past is once the Super Bowl is over, I go full time to college basketball until, baseball comes. But there's so much data available once you're at that point of the season in February. That's when I've really had success. So I'm going to try and go back to that. So once football's over is when I will dive back into the college basketball streets. I do have some sheets with stats that I track and stuff, and I've been updating them, but I have not been betting it. Still been watching it because I love college basketball, but I haven't been betting it until after football this year. I'm going to go back to the year 2 years ago. I did that, and we had a monster February and March betting college basketball. So going back to that to see if we can run that back. Okay. Overall, quicker stream today because it's Saturday. Gave out some bets. They're on my Twitter as well. Like I said, my full game breakdowns on rollinginsights.com for free. If you guys want to go read that, I'll have another breakdown out later today for some Sunday stuff. Haven't decided if I'm going to do a betting article or players I like for DFS. We'll figure it out, but there'll be something up later. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Go subscribe. If you're in here, go subscribe to the Rolling Insights YouTube. Obviously, that's free. Just click the subscribe button. It would really help us out. We're trying to build up our following over there. So I would appreciate that. Good luck today with all your bets. I'm sure you guys are firing on all cylinders with all this football. Good luck if you're playing DFS today. I will be live tomorrow, 11 a.m., and I'll see everybody then.